Imagine how much power's in that. Good Lord. Good Lord. Look at his body. He's just a ball of tense muscle just exploding on your face.
Pause.
That sounded a lot more gay than I was trying to make it sound.
Joe Rogan is widely known as one of the biggest podcasters in the world. However, his biggest passion, and maybe the thing he's least known for, is his stand-up comedy. Joe has more than 30 years of experience in comedy and just released his first comedy special in 6 years live on Netflix. Comedians know what being on Joe's podcast can do for their career, so they usually tread carefully around him, especially around the running joke that he doesn't quite understand comedy.
My producer takes in a lot. Ben, he spends a lot of time online.
I love that you said, these are all Ben's rants. I'm just reciting them. And there was Rogan's notorious for not getting a joke.
Right.
There was a second where he was like, wait, true, Mom?
Tim Dillon says he's one of the most generous people he's ever met, always wanting others to succeed. Joe uses his platform to uplift writers, scientists, politicians, athletes, and especially comedians, like Shane Gillis. Shane told Joe that when he was in Lorne Michaels' office, he sarcastically said, "I'll just go on Rogan." But the sarcasm went over Joe's head.
And I was like, whatever, I'll do. If I get fired here, whatever, I'll just go do Joe Rogan next week and I'll be fine. Anyway, I thought that was funny. No?
What?
I was like, I literally...
Is that what you thought?
I literally thought that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it would be funny.
Well, it could have been funny.
Yeah.
I was booked up, though.
No, it's fine. It was just funny to truly... That was a conversation I actually had.
Really?
In Lorne Michaels' office in the middle of that.
That's hilarious.
I was in pure panic.
Terror?
Yeah. Yeah. But...
Because I remember somebody contacted me.
Shane was admittedly nervous. After all, JRE is the biggest platform in podcasting, maybe in all of media. The joke is that Shane is so arrogant he thought he could just waltz onto Rogan's show. But in reality, he's a humble guy and it was just sarcasm.
I bombed on there and that was bad, dude. That was cutting our heads off.
Yeah.
I wish someone would have cut my head off right then, dude.
And that was early in the episode.
I was Jamie.
30 minutes in.
Red face, just like, what?
Yeah. It is great. Doesn't he still not get the joke?
He gets it.
He gets it now?
Yeah. He understood it then. He thought, I mean, there is a part of the joke where there's something underlying it. If it was about you, you'd be like, you're accusing me of not helping you. That's the part he took from it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the joke was, I was arrogant and stupid. And I was like, I'll just go on Rogan. I don't give a f. He's definitely going to have me on.
He's like, wait, what?
And he was like, who are you?
You can't fully blame Joe for not laughing at Shane's joke. That kind of humor often gets lost when you're not familiar with someone. Now that Shane and Joe are friends, Joe understands Shane's style, and that joke would definitely land better with him now. Any Letterman experienced the same issue as Shane. She threw in a joke while Joe was discussing something serious. Her joke was good, and I think most people would understand where she was going with it.
Everyone has the right to be whatever they are.
Oh, you think?
I think so.
What about Nazis?
They have the more of a right. A third right.
I don't think that's right. I think it's something. That's a different word. It sounds
Reich?
Yeah. What does that even mean? What is Third Reich?
I don't know.
I know what the Third Reich is, but I don't even know what it means. Take a guess. I literally have no idea what that means.
Again, I think this was a moment where Joe wasn't really familiar with his guest. With the sheer number of people he interviews, it's hard to switch out of interview mode, making it difficult to tell when someone is joking.
That people are forgetting that whether you agree with someone or not, they have the right to believe whatever they want.
Right.
Okay? And Rogan goes, even the Nazis? And I go, no, they have the third right. And he goes,
that's great.
He goes, I was going to have to be a Nazi sympathizer. He put me into a wall that I boxed my way out of with a quick joke. I said it that fast. Then he goes, isn't it Reich? And then Jamie looked up what Reich was. I'm like, it's brilliant, I just saved myself from having to defend Nazis.
Yeah, and it's a good joke that worked. I mean, that joke would kill on my podcast.
Annie isn't part of the Rogan sphere, but Shane is. He's been on JRE 11 times and will be on plenty more. Shane's friendship with Joe has grown, and the better Joe knows you, the more comfortable he is around you. He's also more open to being the butt of the joke.
Quads. Imagine how much power's in that. Good Lord. Good Lord. Look at his body. He's just a ball of tense muscle just exploding on your face.
Pause.
That's sounded a lot more gay than I was trying to make it sound.
There aren't many people who can make Joe laugh out loud, especially on his own podcast. But Shane's frat boy style humor is right up Joe's alley.
Armpit hair doesn't bother me at all.
No.
Doesn't
On
bother
a lady?
me.
So
No.
wait, you like jack ladies with armpit hair?
Yeah, a little bit of
You're
armpit
getting
hair.
close, dude. You're so close. That's as close as it gets.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like a good buzz cut.
I like them bald.
Yeah,
I like a bald lady. She can wear a wig.
Yeah, she can
You be a different hairstyle every night.
Khakis.
One of the top sub-podcasts on JRE is Protect Our Parks, featuring Shane, Ari Shafir, and Mark Norman. It's a full-on comedy show. Mark Norman is one of the funniest comedians around, and you can see Joe loves having him on. But sometimes Mark's humor just doesn't sit right with Joe, and you can visibly see his frustration.
He actually released photos of it.
Pull it up. Game O.
In 2021, there was a UFO that hovered over an Air Force base.
Stop.
What?
Slow it down. Slow it down. You gotta stop.
Sorry, I'm
taking this in. I can't.
There's a lot going on here.
Show the pictures of the UFO. These guys, 50 guys observed this thing.
Corbell, dang, I'm trying to process that.
Out of all of Joe's guests, nobody roasts him more than Mark Norman.
Here's in my hand. Look
That's
at this.
perfect.
How little that is.
You
so
got a
perfect.
crazy gorilla monkeypox hand.
Fucked up
Look at that thing. Look at that,
dude.
You're gonna climb the Empire State.
They're not. They don't fit most of my body. I think I didn't get enough food when I was small.
Yeah, you got proportions, dude.
Can you wear
You're an
that?
action figure.
For real, you look like a gorilla up on stage.
Someone in my ancestry monkey.
You're a silver hack. All right, we're back.
Can't help him.
Out of all of Norman's jokes at Joe, this one stands out as one of the best because you can see it actually cuts Joe pretty deep.
Building's blown outward.
Whoa.
Like it's blown out. Now I'm obviously not a bomb expert, but I talked to one.
You should
and
see
he
your
was-
act.
He can't stop himself.
All right, keep going.
Ba-dum-bum.
I need some levity.
If you look at, it did need levity. If you look at the images of the building, if you look at the images of,
I'm not a bomb.
you're an animal. You're an animal. You can't be stopped.
Jack Ranger.
But,
It's crazy.
but I'm interested.
Some people find it funnier when Joe just doesn't laugh at jokes. It's better than his fake laugh.
You think there is? It's very like, I know everything. I kind of do agree with a lot of what he says.
In Joe's defense, he's done over 2,000 episodes with a wide array of guests. It's going to be tough to always get on the same level. And you have to hand it to Mark. Most people are too afraid to call Joe out on his fake laugh.
Dirty. Eating it. I get a titter here and there. I when you're outdoor, I made the one joke. I go, I actually heard a cricket. One guy goes, huh. You know that guy, like the condescending, like meh, meh, meh.
Yeah,
That,
sounds like a sheep.
Yeah, Rogan does that shit. He goes meh, meh. You're like, you bald.
He does do that.
I hate the meh, meh.
I'm like,
While Norman is willing to be honest with Joe about his comedy and fake laugh, not everyone from the Protect Our Parks podcast is comfortable with calling him out. Ari, in particular, tends to hold back when Joe doesn't get a joke, and he's been friends with Joe longer than anyone.
Yeah, people are like, how do you think he's going to do? I'm like, I don't know.
I thought 20K. I thought there's no way.
I mean,
I told him 8 million.
He told me 8 million. I told him 6 million. And he goes, no, I think 8. I'm like, you're missing the joke. And now he's stuck and going. So, guys, if you're watching, as soon as it gets, just get it to 6 million and prove Joe Rogan wrong. Everybody watch right
Joe
now.
doesn't believe it's 6 million.
Jew on YouTube. Joe does not believe in the 6 million.
And black and gay were in there, by the way.
I didn't get the Holocaust joke until right now.
Really?
Literally. I'm so done. And when you said just get it to 6 million, I'm like, he's selling himself short. I really think he can make it to 8.
I literally
was so
texted him.
You sound like Goebbels.
I texted him. I was like, Joe, instead of 6 weeks and 8 million, why don't you reverse those? He goes, no, I believe it'll be 8 million. I'm like, I said, Joe, pretend like you're a comedian for a second and look at my numbers.
Yeah,
And
I didn't get the reference.
As one of the biggest names on the planet, it's always funny to see Joe get called out, especially by comedians. And it's especially funny when it happens on the Protect Our Parks podcast because it genuinely feels like a comedy show. In one-on-one podcasts, the jokes don't always land well, like when Bill Burr was on.
I like the
Courage.
little skip step, too, like a cornerback.
Well, he's running at the guy with the camera and knocks him over.
The man achieved his goal, okay? As much as you don't approve of what he's doing.
He achieved his goal. No, she's still got the paper.
I
in
know.
her hand.
I'm joking.
Bill Burr is a top-tier comedian, and he's not one of the Rogan sphere, so he doesn't feel the need to walk on eggshells. On the End of the World podcast at the Comedy Store, he roasted Rogan hard for rocking a Little Rascals hat.
No, Joe, you lunatic. Somebody gets in my face, that might cause me to get more lunatic. I eat a little bit of protein. You had to beat the out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little weed, put on your Little Rascals hat, and just chill out. You don't understand. I love him to death. But this guy is the most testosterone filled dude I've ever met. That's why I love him. I love him. He's like every guy I met in Boston welded together. He's crazy.
The Little Rascals hat will haunt me for the rest of my life.
No, and this is what's killing me. No,
I'll never put this on.
No.
Theo Von is one of the nicest guys in comedy, and like Burr, he's not really part of the Rogan sphere. Theo didn't call Joe out for not getting a joke, even when Joe showed him his ice bath video. Theo made a good joke about Joe's form, but instead of laughing it off, Joe took it seriously.
Climbing right out of the sauna. See all the ice in there? It's me coming. I worked out, and I usually do this. So look at this chunk of ice. I usually do this right after cardio. So this is like a cardio session.
Wow, dude. You look like one of those turkeys when they tie it up and it gets all like kind of like lined out. You know what I'm talking about? When they put that rope around the ham and it's got all the...
Oh, my six-pack.
Yeah.
It's called working out, son.
Yeah, it is, bro. I didn't know what that end game could be like, baby. That's freaking wild, dude. Congratulations, man.
Just keep working out and you'll get there too.
Then there are comedians like Jeff Garlin. If you've seen Joe's stand-up over the years, you know he loves to be animated and act out some of his jokes. Maybe Jeff knew about this and decided to subtly roast Joe for it.
No. And by the way, when you see someone moving around like that on stage, I will bet you every penny I have they're not funny. Anytime I saw someone miming, pumping air, I would just go, not funny.
No.
It was just like, it was a sign of like...
But what if there's a bit where you have to mime pumping air? There's got to be a bit.
Pumping air?
Yeah. But
you mean like
there's got to be...
Screwing pumping?
Some bits.
What? But who doesn't know what that looks like? Why do you need to pump?
Maybe there's a reason. There's got to be something.
Unless like you're imitating someone having a heart attack pumping, and most of the move around people are pushing it. Just oversell shit by physicalizing what should be just funny the way you say it. The content is about your physicality.
Right.
That's not dancing.
Right.
Dancing's when you put like English, like when you're doing this to accentuate what you're saying. It's like, screw that. We don't need
I almost feel bad for Joe knowing he has years of stool jokes in his act while Garland critiques them as the lowest form of comedy. And there's Kevin Smith. His joke about his dog helping him write material goes right over Joe's head, and Kevin ends up having to explain it to him.
He wrote my 4 best movies. That's why he died. I made Tusk and Yoga Hosers. Like, without that dog writing for me.
How'd he write for you?
It's a joke, Joe. He was feral. He was just saying he was so smart.
Oh.
He was so smart. How smart was he? He's so smart he wrote my last few scripts. Joke didn't quite land. Sorry,
I was missing something. I wasn't paying attention.
I didn't set it up properly.
That's all I have.